What's going on, guys? My name's Nate. I just kind of wanted to introduce myself in this new YouTube channel that I'm going to be creating. The purpose behind it is kind of a document of my life and kind of what I'm doing, where I'm going. The reason is because I'm a very successful minded person. I strive for success. I'm trying to build that lifestyle that everybody wants, the American dream. But the thing is so you look at other channels out there of people who have successful YouTube channels, maybe someone like Grant Cardone or Ty Lopez, or there's tons of other ones, but they've already done it, and so obviously their advice should be heeded because they know what it takes to be there. But I don't see a whole lot of YouTube channels. As a matter of fact, I'm not aware of any. Maybe there are some that are literally a documentary of now being someone who is on that journey, and you get to see that go on every single day. So this channel is going to be a lot centered around that. I will be talking about multiple different stuff because I am in multiple different I'm doing multiple different things, and so I will be talking about the things that I'm doing, and I will be teaching you things that I know that are already working for me now. So what this video is going to be about specifically is why I decided to be... I got dog hair all over me. It kind of distracted me. I'm sorry. Why I decided to go into the entrepreneur business type space. It's a very... everybody's trying to do it. I think I read somewhere or heard somewhere that it's like 93 or 97% of young people want that lifestyle. Well, the reason is because a lot of us have had sucky bosses. A lot of us have had garbage jobs that we don't like, or, a lot of us are like, maybe like me, and they've just always had that kind of sight upward, and you want the what's the biggest and best thing. To be honest with you, I've had all of those things. I've had a sucky job, a sucky boss, and I've always wanted to go to the top. So the reason I wanted to make this video about why is centered around this thing right here. It is a broken padlock. This story that I'm about to tell you is not the only reason why I'm on this journey, but it encapsulates everything around it, okay? So, this one story will kind of explain my experience in the employment space. So I used to work in a grocery store. That was my first ever job. I worked in a grocery store when I was 17. I got a job 2 weeks before I turned 17. Or 2 weeks before I turned 18, rather. And I worked at this grocery store for probably I worked there for 5 years, but 2.5 years, man, the first 2.5 years, I just had a lot of fun. I was in the process of playing baseball at a private school in North Georgia, and I was having a lot of fun because I was going to school. School was easy. I was going to baseball, and then I was working in this grocery store, and man, I just constantly having a lot of fun. My closest friends that are with me today, I met them either at this grocery store or playing baseball. So those two areas of my life I have really fond memories of. The first 2.5 years I worked at that grocery store was pretty fun. Now, I understand working at a grocery store is not supposed to be fun. It's not about having fun. It's about doing your job. But as young kids, we just had a lot of fun. Now, as I got older, I realized, and it kind of happened subconsciously, that I just wanted to do better. I just naturally took myself more seriously, took the job more seriously, even though it was a garbage job and I hated it. I wanted to do it well, and so I did. And what I hated about it was if you didn't do good, you got crapped on for not doing good. duh. That's kind of the whole point of having a job is your employer expects you to do well, as they should. But the problem is then when you do good, when you go above and beyond, you're punished for it, because they realize that you are the horse and buggy that carries the mail. And so, it's like Rudolph. When they realize that you're Rudolph and you can pull Santa all by yourself, they just unhitch the rest of the reindeer, and you don't have any more help. That's that's how it was. That's how it worked for me. But back to this lock here. So one Tuesday, me and one of my best friends walked into work, and we go to our locker, and we kept our personal things in there. That's what they were for. This grocery store that we worked at wasn't like Walmart or Walgreens or Foodland or whatever, where you can just scan the item across the cash register. It was like an older grocery store, and we literally had to price each and everything in that store. And we would have a pricing gun, and you would click the trigger, and it would put a sticker on what you had. Well, we also had these things called box cutters, because when we would get our trucks in, they would come in boxes, obviously. So you slice the box open, you open it, and then you price everything in the box. You throw it on a float, and once your float's full, you go and take it and put it out. That was how it worked, right? So, there was this manager there that gave me and my friend 2 different pricing guns. Now, the reason he gave each of us 2 different pricing guns was because we were in the dairy and freezer department. And if you were pricing things like frozen items and milk, it ruined your gun for things like cheese and lunch meat and yogurt and other things. So we had the manager was kind of a dick, but he was just a smart aleck, which I can deal with. He was very helpful, wanted you to do your job, and so he gave us both 2 guns, and we had one for pricing milk and freezer stuff, and then one for the other stuff, cheese, whatever. So some things happened. He no longer worked there. There's a new manager in here, and he has a completely new team now. It is he, a different assistant manager, and then a third key below him, right? So one day, me and my friend go into work, and we go to our lockers, and the lockers was where we kept our pricing guns and our box cutters, because the women put purses in there. We didn't have purses, so we put our guns in there, or knives, because we didn't take them home, because we didn't want to leave them there and lose them at home. So we would just put them in the lockers. Well, we get there, and there's this broken lock on each of our lockers, and so we're kind of like, this is weird. Well, there's a manager up in the office right beside our locker, so we say, hey, so-and-so, come here, what's going on with this? And she says, I don't know. I said, well, let's call the head manager and see what's going on here. So I call the head manager to find out what was going on. He didn't want to talk to me. He said, can I talk to the other manager? And so I give this other manager the phone. She talks to him and basically gets off the phone, calls us into the office, and gives us 1 gun, 1 box cutter, and says, go. And we said, we're not going to, discuss what happened here. And she said, no, we're not. Just go get to work. You can have 1 box cutter and 1 gun, and go get to it. And so we were kind of dissatisfied with that answer. And so I said, cool, I'll wait till he gets into the store. What time does he come in? 11. Okay. This was at 7 o'clock in the morning. So 11 o'clock rolls around, this dude kind of waddles in the grocery store. He's real short and wears his pants way too high. So when he walks, he looks like this. Actually, it's more like this. Sorry, I don't know. But, so we ask him, what's going on here? We're trying to anyway, and he's like hiding from us, won't talk to us. So the third key comes in at noon, and so we're trying to figure out what was going on, And he was kind of combative about it. We weren't being rude to him. We weren't coming at him like, what is it? We were just wanting to know what was going on. And he was pretty defensive about it. And basically what he told us was that the people upstairs told the managers to go find everybody in the store and just to do a locker inspection to make sure nobody was stealing stuff. If they had some sort of like a Gatorade or a Powerade or a Coke or some crackers or candy in their lockers, make sure they had a receipt on it so they could prove that they bought it. Makes sense, right? Well, the problem is that we were the only 2 people in the entire store to have their locker broken into. The only 2. Everybody else was asked, hey, can you please open your locker? And so they did. We said, well, y'all weren't there. Y'all weren't there. And so I said, well, yeah, but neither was such and such, neither was such and such, neither was such and such. But you waited and then asked them. You broke into my locker. And then you just, like, because you thought you could get away with it. I mean, I'm sure they had some legal right to do it, but it was still a crappy thing to do. Now, I have multiple different stories from my time at that grocery store, but that one story kind of just that's like the whole thing. That's like my entire 5 years of being there. A lot of times employers just take advantage of you. I do not take advantage of my employees, and I will never take advantage of my employees. I expect a lot out of them. Being my business partner, both expect a lot out of them. And sometimes we're hard on them, but we never mistreat them, and we will never mistreat them. So that right there is why we decided to go on to the working for ourselves and creating a business. And like I said, there's more stories than that, but that's pretty much that's basically what you need to know for what it's like if you've never worked in that space. And if you have worked in the employment sphere and you've had some sort of issue like that happen before, you kind of feel my pain. So, that's pretty much it. So look, I'm gonna upload. I don't really know how many videos I'm gonna upload. Minimum 3 days a week, probably. If I just decide, hey, I'm thinking this, I'm going to put it on YouTube, I'm going to do that well. So I may post a video every day, but I'm going to try to keep it to a minimum of 3 days a week. So this is my first video I've ever done, so go easy on me, please. No, I don't, If it sucked, you can tell me in the comments. It won't hurt my feelings. So my name is Nate. Please like the video, subscribe, and be on the lookout for more, because I really want to grow this YouTube channel because I want to be famous.